Welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping right into a really intense story of disaster, chaos, and ultimately, incredible community resilience. So, picture this, a peaceful, animated village, right? It's home to this tight-knit community of vegetable characters. Everyone is sleeping soundly, completely unaware that a catastrophic threat is literally cracking through the walls keeping them safe. In just a matter of minutes, their entire world gets turned upside down. Let's get right into it.
Does everyone need to be woken up immediately? Aloo, there's a big crack in the dam. Talk about midnight panic, right? This single line completely sets the stage for the life or death stakes we're dealing with. I mean, think about it. There's no warning siren going off, no weather forecast giving them a heads up days in advance. Just the absolutely terrifying sound of concrete cracking in the dead of night, and that chilling realization that thousands of gallons of water are about to wipe their homes off the map. You can just feel the sheer terror of waking up to a reality like that.
Section 1. Crisis, the breaking dam.
You know, the craziest part is just how fast this whole thing escalated. This wasn't some slow, creeping flood. No way. Right at midnight, the dam cracks, and water violently rushes in. Boom. Moments later, the main bridge, which is, by the way, the primary escape route for these villagers, collapses entirely. It's just gone. Minutes after that, the very roofs of their huts are threatening to cave in under the water pressure and the sheer panic of it all. And within just an hour, they're down to a final, desperate boat evacuation. Walking through this timeline, it's wild to see how quickly this community went from sleeping peacefully to fighting for their survival. Every single second counted here, and honestly, panic could have so easily been their downfall.
Section 2. Courageous Rescue Mission.
Now, when disaster strikes, human or, well, vegetable instinct is usually every man for himself. But our hero Aloo, which translates to potato, by the way, he steps up and implements this strict, highly logical life-saving protocol. It's brilliant. Step 1, immediately move everyone to high ground. Step 2, evacuate the children and the elders first, making sure the most vulnerable are protected. Step 3, secure the rations, because let's face it, surviving the night means absolutely nothing if you just starve the next day. And Step 4, use ropes to physically link and guide the survivors so nobody gets swept away. It really proves that staying calm and having a structured plan is what actually saves lives when things go south.
Don't lose hope. I'm here. Don't let go of the rope. Just try to imagine the sheer physical struggle behind those words. People are literally losing their grip in freezing, rushing water. You've got massive tree trunks just floating by in the dark, threatening to crush them at any second. The entire village is desperately relying on a single, literal lifeline. And Asulu, he isn't just barking orders from the safety of the dry banks. No, he is right there in the water, holding the rope, pulling people out of their crumbling huts.
And the sheer volume of obstacles they were up against? Staggering. A collapsing bridge trapped whole families on the wrong side of the flood. Massive falling trees completely blocked their only escape paths up to the hills. They were dealing with crumbling huts, stuck doors trapping terrified villagers inside while the water just kept rising. Oh, and their food supply was rapidly dwindling. All of this, the whole shebang, is happening against the relentless, unyielding pressure of fast-moving floodwaters. I mean, the energy required to fight through just one of these obstacles is immense, let alone dealing with all of them simultaneously. In the pitch black?
So you have to wonder, how does leadership actually function under that kind of extreme pressure? Well, Aloo makes his stance crystal clear. Put everyone in the boat first. No one will be left alone. He prioritized the vulnerable. He ensured total community survival over his own individual safety. It wasn't about who was the strongest or who could swim the fastest. It was about ensuring that every single member of that village made it out alive.
But then, the rescue is over. The dawn breaks, the water finally begins to settle down, and you look down from the safe high ground and everything you have ever known is just gone, completely washed away. Your homes, your belongings, your entire sense of security. Take a second to really think about the sobering, emotional reality of that aftermath. Surviving the night, while that's really only half the battle, now they're facing the monumental task of tomorrow. So what now?
Section 3. Rebuilding with unity.
This next part brilliantly illustrates a core theme of this whole story. Before the flood, the village was incredibly vulnerable. They were totally unprepared, blindly relying on this weak, outdated dam to keep them safe. But after the flood, they aren't just putting things back exactly the way they were. Actually, scratch that. They're doing much more than that. They are stronger. They are profoundly united. And most importantly, they are rebuilding with a sturdy, reinforced dam. The disaster didn't break them. It actually served as a brutal but super effective catalyst that completely transformed them into a proactive, resilient community. The villagers came to this amazing core realization.
Preparation is the greatest safety. They learned the hard way that you can't just rebuild blindly and hope for the best, right? Just hoping a disaster won't happen again, that is not a strategy. They recognize that threats are always going to exist, and the only way to truly protect their families is to prepare for the absolute worst while building for the best.
Section 4. The lesson of unity.
So after the waters receded, the village head naturally wanted to honor Alu for saving everyone's lives. I mean, who wouldn't? But Alu's response was incredible. He said, "A true hero is one who stands for everyone." He completely rejected the idea that he was some lone savior. Instead, he humbly credited the village's collective hard work. He pointed out that, hey, if they hadn't all pulled the ropes, if they hadn't shared the rations, if they hadn't looked out for one another, no single person's bravery would have ever been enough to save them.
And that leaves us with some really fantastic core takeaways. This story teaches us that unity is literal strength. Preparation is absolutely the best safety measure you can possibly take. True family, it isn't just about blood. It's about the people who stand with you in the hardest of times. And every single helping hand, no matter how small it might seem, builds a faster recovery. These aren't just lessons for animated vegetables, you know. These apply directly to our own lives, our own neighborhoods, and the daily challenges we all face.
So, I want to leave you with this thought as we wrap up today's explainer. If a sudden disaster struck your town, your neighborhood, or your apartment building today, is your community prepared to stand together like the Veggie Village? Do you actually know who would hold the rope for you? Better yet, whose rope would you hold? Take a moment and really think about it, because preparation and unity, those start long before the dam ever breaks.